Taco Bell's $1 grilled breakfast burritos.
Hey.
Hey, guys.
Look at us.
We're back.
Happy Sunday.
Happy Sunday. I hope you had a wonderful Passover.
Yes.
And the first fruits of leaven started.
Happy
so
Easter to
those who celebrate that.
Those folks that like running around looking for Easter eggs.
I'm not giving you no love on that.
But
I do love you.
Family looked beautiful today. I must say the girls was out there. Shout out.
Yes, to the pretty little dresses.
Yes, to London and Mariah.
Yeah.
You know. And what else we got? I mean, actually, man, got some interesting news. You know, my baby, Rottweiler, she either got a growth plate
possibly torn her ACL. She out there playing hard. She dunking on people, crossing over, breaking ankles.
It literally broke her.
May have to have surgery.
But we love her. We're going to take care of her.
She be doing it, y'all.
So much going on in the Black community. You know, it's just it's a lot. And I think before we jump deep into this is going to be our topic for today. Called for all these
Hold
Black
on to
businesses.
your seats. Hold on.
It's called customer service. We love our people. But
customer service.
I don't know what it is about giving one napkin, expecting you to wipe your face off. No condiments in your
They ain't got
plate.
No ketchup, no mustard, no egg. No, we ain't, we ain't doing y'all like that. We just talking about customer service.
I know.
We ain't finna throw it out there because there's a lot of good Black businesses out there.
If you get a job and you get the bid, not showing up.
Ooh,
going to work somewhere else.
I done seen some complaints on Facebook about trying to hand out business and meeting people places and they don't show up. I don't know what's wrong with that.
We got to do right. We got to do
better. We got to do better.
But there's so many Black businesses, y'all. I mean,
that is so exciting. That is exciting. So before we get into the show, kick it off.
Whoa. Must say to y'all, this is my girl Leela James.
Yes.
She getting down. She's gonna
tough.
be here this year.
Yes, down in Marina Del Rey. We cannot miss that because this Leela James. If you don't know who Leela James is, I don't know who you are.
Oh yeah,
that's all I got to say. That young lady is fierce, and she brings the old school feel back to your soul.
So I will be able to show y'all my goosebumps.
I know. I'm starting to get goosebumps. Leela James ain't no joke, y'all.
So we thought we'd throw her on because
get ghetto up in here.
Sometimes that's what we got to do, and we don't come up in your establishment. You ghetto.
Got to be throwing the tables over like Medea.
You know we stay.
You know how we do things. We gonna keep it real up in here because we love you. We gonna have fun. And if you ain't like that, you got somebody in your family like that. So don't even act like you too good for this conversation.
Aunt Lila Bell with that lipstick. Come on now. It's just to the real. But as the beautiful queen right here said, before we get started, I must say, welcome to the tea. I'm your man, Chauncey Anderson, and this beautiful one here.
I'm Mayaka Anderson here supporting the tea.
Y'all, look at this woman. Look at that head wrap right there.
I'll be trying to work these head wraps. Lifesavers.
It is. Hey, trust, do, believe.
Woo, the locks be on 10. I gotta wrap them up sometimes.
No, they don't. Sometimes she just, they put that little thing over the head at night. Black women.
Yeah, you better be, you happy you in the bonnet club. You know you had.
Now when my granddaughters,
the only Black man.
When my granddaughters be getting bonnets when they number 4, 5. They start them young.
That's the
rites
y'all. Of passage. They say we ain't got rites of passage. When you hand your grandchildren over the hair bonnet.
Culture.
Yes. We gonna get them started early.
Black men, we gonna have to come up with a culture thing also. Cause
y'all got the do-rag.
That and
I don't know
what they call that other thing, y'all. The moo-moo.
Oh, the moo. Oh, okay. So they're the caftan. But those that are a little older may know them as moo-moos, but now they come in African fabrics and they're pretty. They let you breathe, especially if you're like somewhere where it's hot climate. You get the air circulating, so you ain't got them tight clothes on.
Okay, our topic for today is customer service, and therefore we gonna step up in this because we gonna have to talk about that subject all the way offline.
Yeah,
that ain't got nothing to do with Well,
somebody gonna get on here and be like,
I
I
know.
want to know about the caftans because I feel the same way.
fellas, yeah, we have
The moo-moos.
Yeah, we need to talk to some old hats, some
Some
older
older.
gentlemen that can tell us what is behind the caftan and the bonnet. Because I'm still trying to
He
figure
gonna
out.
tell you, but just stick with it.
That's
Don't
called
even say
good customer
nothing.
service right there. If I ever
Just
heard
stick
of
with it.
Where did that come from? I didn't know that was on the menu. No, but real talk.
Oh,
Speaking about Black-owned businesses, trust to believe, I always tell y'all that my number one website that I love to go do my research from is Black Demographics.
right.
They've updated their site. It looks
Yes,
it's
it
posh.
looks
It
really
looks
good. They're
really
doing
nice.
it.
And
They're doing it well.
they got a
yes.
section on here about Black-owned businesses
Mhm.
in the United States. They say it's increased by 34.5%, and this is just between 2007 2012. But here's the piece of the puzzle that's really interesting. They say that
So that means it's even up more now.
it's probably gone up even
it
larger.
has to have gone
It
up.
says
Yeah.
more than 95% of the businesses are mostly sole propriety or partnership,
Mhm.
which have no paid employees.
So, fam,
That is kind of, I guess, the essence that surrounds
probably
talks for
one
customer
of yeah, for
service.
customer service. That could be probably one of the factors in
Mhm.
customer service, because just being a sole proprietor of a business,
Yes,
you are wearing a lot of hats.
you
And
are
so
definitely.
depending on what kind of business you have, it
Mhm.
can be frustrating.
Oh yeah,
You're new at this, you're gathering your service, you're
Mhm.
trying to do your marketing, you're trying
Yeah.
to do everything. So sometimes I can see how somebody would have their frustrations kind of fall over
yeah.
into customer service, because even though we complain about customer service, on the other side,
Mhm.
a lot of us do not know how to talk to people properly.
Mhm.
And they expect things
Come on.
that are impossible.
Yes.
You place an order today and you call in tomorrow,
Mhm.
upset that it's not on your front porch,
Right.
when they have put the information there that it may take 2 to 10 days or whatever, however long
Sure.
to get to you. But so it's on both sides. There is some bad customer service, but I know there are some bad customers out there.
But those are the aspect that is a part of the business
Mhm.
when it comes to customer service, as it pertains to it, that I think is left out from a person
Yes.
that owns that business.
Mhm.
Me working in what I do in the federal government, I have to know who my customers are,
Right.
who I am dealing with. And on a
Mhm.
daily basis, it can be up to 500 people just in my office,
Right.
let alone people from DC or vendors that are calling
Oh
us
yeah,
about
vendors,
our
yeah.
business.
Mhm.
So that's what you play in. And as you learn it, you get good at it.
Mhm.
But and sometimes it's just as easy as looking at yourself in the mirror, how you want to be treated.
Right.
If you walked into your own establishment.
Yes. What would you expect from them? What would you expect to walk out of that door with?
Mhm.
How would you want to be greeted?
Yes.
How would you want to be handed your money
Mhm.
back to you?
Yep.
Would you want a business card? Would you want a nice bag to walk
Yes.
out of the store with? Those kind of things.
Mhm.
Do you want that personal touch?
Yes.
Do you want someone at the door when you walk in? Hey, how you doing?
Mhm.
Thanks for
Mhm.
stopping in.
Yes.
Or are you that person that want to be left alone? Like, I'm walking in your store, but don't talk to me, because you got those too.
That's
like,
true.
I don't want you to talk to me. I just want to look around and I do what I got to do.
Oh,
if I
yeah.
need help,
And if
I'll
you want
ask you.
something, yes.
Right.
Yes.
So it's really hard to know. But one of the things that you said is knowing your target customer.
Mhm.
Who are you serving?
Yes.
And why are you serving them? You chose this demographic for a reason to serve. And not just, I'm saying Black, but if you're doing hair care, you're going to deal with a lot of women.
Mhm.
Okay. And depending on what kind of hair care you're doing, it could be any kind of woman.
Yeah.
So then you would have to really know and target and understand
Mhm.
those women, their thoughts, the kind of thinking they are in. If you're dealing with kids' hair products, you really have to know, really have to study and research who you're serving, and then why did you choose to serve them?
And that's like what Maya was saying, because that based on the industry in and of itself, Black-owned businesses, they get listed out here on Black Demographics by the industry. And a lot of it is basically as other services, because that's what we tend to focus on. What can we do for our community, our Black people? here in the United States,
Mhm.
around the world, in
Right.
the diaspora.
What do
So
they
those are
need?
some of
Yeah.
the number one things. So I think, again, as Maya said, when you take a look at that, from the young to the old, those that do come into our community,
Right.
who into your establishment, I should say,
Mhm.
who you wish to serve or who you want to have business, or if
Mhm.
you're shipping product out to people,
Right.
basically you have to try to be, especially if it's just you.
Yeah.
You're just only one person. You
Yeah.
don't have a team, or you don't
Mhm.
have someone that handles the mailing or whatever.
Right.
You have to really be open, and you have to be honest when you're
Yes,
communicating
you have to be
to
honest and
your
communicate.
people, because they provide you a lot of data, and you say, hey, yes, this product is going to come out to you, and
Mhm.
then all of a sudden, it doesn't show up. Then what do?
What
Some
do you
people
do?
get angry and
Yeah.
upset, and then all
Mhm.
of a sudden you don't have to come shop in my business no
Yeah,
more,
well, you
or
ain't
you
got to
don't
come
have,
back. But
you know
wait a minute,
that
you
is
can't
not
do that
what that
because
is.
you know how they are, and we
Oh,
roll
yeah.
deep. So you tell a
Mhm.
couple of your girlfriends, ain't nobody gonna, it starts to roll. So you can't
Yes.
just be angry.
Mhm.
But if you just communicate
Know how to
and let them
communicate.
know, and no
Yes.
matter what comes off the other end, you've done your portion
Mhm.
to let them know, hey, this is what's going on. I'm sorry that this happened. Maybe I give you a discount. Maybe
Yeah.
you kind of barter and kind of
Mhm.
make them happy. Some people are never going to be happy. Point
Right.
blank. We know this. We know this, and it don't matter what color you are. They're just not going to be happy. But you do the best you can, knowing that you try to rectify the issue.
But go ahead, babe.
I had ordered off a site, I Bathe Well, young lady, really nice, and I bought some stuff from her, and then I reordered, and it was taking a while to come in, but she called me. Now she's over in Detroit. Right. She called me and I saw a phone number and I saw a little voicemail, and she was really nice. She was like, hi, you ordered something from me and my stuff hasn't come in, from my vendor. I've never had this issue before. Can you call me?
Yes.
And I was like, wow, she called me. I'm over here in California. She's in Detroit. Yeah. But she made that effort to call me and have a conversation. And I really appreciated that. And I was like, well, don't worry about it. Just let me know when it comes in or whatever. But I told her, I said, I really appreciate you picking up the phone and calling me. I said, and I thought that was wonderful customer service, just to ease my mind that, hey, this is a real website. Yeah, she didn't shut her doors or drive off with them, but she took the time to do that. And I really appreciated that. No, so those are the things we need to do.
With what Maya just said, that's solid, because here's the definition. If you want to understand customer service, this is very interesting. It says customer service is the provision of service to customers before, during, and after a purchase.
So that's 3 steps.
Those processes, if you handle those all the way through, you're gonna have people in your door, on your website, knocking down your door, literally, to do business with you. Because everybody thinks the process that own a business is always about getting people through the door.
Right, but you want that revolving door, and that's where the money comes, when they keep coming back. And it's a personal experience. When people buy, 9 times out of 10, they buy because of who you are, how you spoke to them. So even if your product was, it wasn't all that, but your service was good, you stopped, you talked to them, you laughed, you felt like y'all were friends by the time they left the store. Believe me, they coming back just to see you. And when they come back, they're gonna buy at least one item,
and they'll bring others.
And they will bring others. Yes.
Others about, wow, this is a service that hit. This is what happened. And this what made me come back
to the store. Or go back to the website
to do the things that, because some people are just, like Maya said, we can go into a store, and ours is just to browse to see what's going on. It's not necessarily to buy, even though our mind is for something made us go into that store. It would be like something made you go into that store, no matter if it's a grocery store, if it's a donut shop, coffee shop, whatever. It made you go in there to take a look at what they had. And the thing behind it is that, especially if you have an employee and it's not just one, you give them the tools that they need to help the customers have a really good experience.
Exactly.
From there, if that person is just browsing, it's going to be communicated. That person has something else to do. From there, if there is an exchange between the customer and the employee, or you yourself, if it's just you, then there should be a dialogue.
There should be,
you know, even if it's on the internet, if someone's asking a question and you got a business in your business,
oh my goodness, yes.
Because
I have been on lots of Instagram pages and people are asking questions. And it's been like a couple of like 2 days, 3 days, and there's no responses on any of those, you know. And I've seen people say, well, if you're not going to respond, then why even put your products on the thing? And I'm like, wow. But then I'm thinking that's probably someone who does not have enough help to just stay on there and answer the questions that are being asked of their services. So even if you can't, you know, maybe you can afford to hire like maybe a teenager,
someone
high school, or do an internship, you know, where they get credits or whatever from, because a lot of schools they'll have to go out, you know, and like volunteer services or whatever. Maybe you can have one of them, and you know, these kids today are so good on the computer. Maybe you put out a script. If they ask these questions, this is what my products are. Go on here, and even if it's once a week or twice a week, and then you give them, you know, even if it's an intern, give them something to say thank you.
Right.
And have them answer all those questions. Products or whatever.
You know, and I think that's a lot of times that's what we get bogged down into.
Yes.
But you have to remember, just like, especially if you have a business and you have family or you have friends that have kids or whatever, it's sometimes, you know, kids have like, back in the day, they did babysitting. Right. You know, this could be something just as well. You can, whether it's your children and teaching them that process, or someone else, teenage kids who can do that and say, hey, this is what I will do. I think what we're trying to say here, especially in the Black community, for those who have businesses, brick and mortar, internet-based, different entrepreneur type of things, because it's a lot of work. I remember when I was a kid, and it used to be that people wanted us to just put flyers out. These people entrusted us to take the flyers and do what we were supposed to do. Right. Now, some of the kids in the community, they would basically just take those flyers and chuck them. And throw them in trash and be like, they ain't gonna know. You know, and others that took that job serious, it did help benefit the business. So what I'm saying, for how you wish to have your business ran and catered to, if you got one person that's behind the counter, or you have just yourself. I think one experience I thought that was like the ultimate that I just learned from is when we took our trip to New Orleans, and that little store that was on the corner that I would go to. Oh my gosh. He liked it for the drama. No, but this woman, this sister, she knew how to handle the volume of people. She would say, you need to look at the menu, know what your order was, and be on point. And be on point when I look at you. She was not playing. No, if you've seen an episode of Jerry Seinfeld, they had the soup Nazi. This young lady, ready to go. This was the sister girl. This sister was like, was no what joke. Do you want? Don't waste my time. If you want, you know, a full, you know, a whole 12-inch or whatever. I mean, po' boy, whatever you want. You want a chicken or whatever they sold in that store. She would say your order and step to the side. Because I remember when she was off and it was the owner's brother trying to do it. He couldn't hang. It was all sorts of shouting matches. Oh, yeah. It was chaos in there. Went and cussed him out and threw him out. And you ain't getting no order. I was like, I thought I was on the episode of Jerry Seinfeld. But I just, like I said again, it's even like when we went and had breakfast this morning. The customer service, it was weird because I could hear the table behind me. The woman said that she wanted her eggs over hard and they made them over easy. And then they came to our table and everything was good, you know, and they moved to hers, and the woman made mention that, well, my eggs were a certain way. And the waitress, even, mind you, this is like Sunday, Easter, everybody in this restaurant. Yeah. And the lady was really nice about it. She said, don't worry about it. I'll eat it the way it is. She didn't want any fuss about it. Right. But the customer service piece that I was going to say, the waitress, like, hey, I will go back and I'll have these back to you in a matter of minutes. She didn't want that. So a few minutes later, we saw the owner, not the owner, the manager. He came over, gave us our food, and he walked over to them again. Said how things were. Yeah, I heard about your meal. About the meal. What can I do? He's like, I can get these whipped up in a few minutes. And he spent some time there too, talking to her. And I thought that was really cool, especially
we were at a Denny's, y'all. So especially at a Denny's where they
I'm like
just kind
giving
of
Denny's no
sometimes
shout out and
yeah,
like
but
that.
yeah, but I'm just saying the customer service and that it was really good that they both took the time.
Right.
The waitress communicated with the manager so the manager would know what was going on, and then for him to take the time out to go and speak to her. It just really shows that they cared about what was going on and they cared about what was coming out and the customers
what you were getting.
Experience at their shop.
And true to form, this does, and reason why I said I didn't want to speak in essence of that it was Denny's or whatever, is nothing against Denny. Some people be like, oh well, that is a big establishment,
right?
They got a lot of people in here, this, that, and the other. No, it's not that. It's whether you got a team of 2 or 3, that one that's taking an order, the one that's making the food, and the person that's serving it. It doesn't matter. Small, medium, or large businesses, you need to establish a certain type of criteria for your customer service when a person comes in, as greeting, seating, cleanliness. I mean, I can go down the scale.
What does that look like? What does it feel like? And then have everyone experience that themselves so that they see what it looks like. And then definitely how you talk to people. I think sometimes we bring our vibes from wherever we came from, and it transfers over into whatever we're doing. We always want to make sure. I know I worked in an emergency department, and so you deal with some people.
Nah, my wife, let me go ahead and say.
But my customer service now. Okay, sometimes I did have to get with some of them because they just was so out of line.
I'm here to testify.
Yes, but my team, my crew that worked on me with my shifts, we always had each other.
Check a brother. She wouldn't care if it was your mama.
But
she'll check you
because they tell you, even in the emergency room, y'all, you treat them like they're hotel guests. So it's no longer about the ailment they came in for and you trying to help them get better. It's about them feeling better inside their mind. So now you have to try and assess emergent situations, deal with true emergencies. And you have these people here who want the first thing they want out of their mouth is a pillow, a drink of water. Can you feed me? I want this. I want that. Has nothing to do with the reason they came in. And so I do know customer service, you really have to and want you to work on that. And so I do know, and that's why I say it's not always the business, but the people that you are serving.
But that's the aspect. I mean, not just the medical field, because I was in it too. The medical field is very interesting because unlike Maya here, who worked with the actual person coming through the door, i.e. a consumer, a customer, or whomever, I had customers. My customers were the ER room, intensive care, all these other places where it was the nurses, the doctors, the front desk, receptionists, and all that. And my boss, I remember him saying something, and I even take this with the work that I do now. He used to call it was as if by magic. Don't let a floor know that we don't have saline solution, whether you got to run over to another department, get saline or Band-Aids or whatever, and get it to them, because that's what this business is all about. My Roddy, she's like on 10 right now, but I'm gonna tell you something.
Really, it doesn't matter what they need. You just say, "Oh, is that what you need?" Yes,
give me a moment or whatever,
and I'll get right back to you.
This is the bottom line with customer service. Also, it says from the point of view of an overall sales process engineering efforts, customer service plays an important role in an organization's ability to generate income and revenue. And
those are the magic words: income and revenue. So when you come up against someone, think income and revenue.
Yes, because I work in a financial institution. And our number one customer service, especially for our tellers, is when you saw a customer moving towards the point of being upset and becoming agitated or irate about a transaction, a deposit didn't happen, this, that, and the other. And you saw that heighten, you start speaking lower. The higher they get, the lower you get. And then sometimes you just stop talking and let them continue. Let them do what they
let them get it all out. Because it's not really at you. No. I mean, they're not giving it to you. They know it's not you, but it's bottled up and it has to get out.
And how is it that you can help
once they're done? I am so sorry.
Yes.
Now, what would you like me to do about this?
And that's the
and
hardest
they might
part.
tell you something. You'd be like, okay, well, according to our policy, I can't do that. But what I can do,
that's it.
What I can parallel what you want and give them a little that you want them to go.
Yes.
And then
go ahead, babe.
Oh no, you got it.
Because for a lot of us, the bottom line of it is it's kind of like us, the breakfast that we were having over at Denny's. They made sure that they said, I can do this for you. We can go and cook those. We can get those over easy. It's over hard in 2 minutes or less. And it'll be back in your plate, hot, fresh. And that woman, literally, I heard it. I almost wanted to turn around to the woman and go, I heard you complaining about it. They talking about fixing it. Why don't you just let them fix it so you can have a good experience? But she was like, no, I'm perfectly fine with it. You know, to the gentleman she was with, I'm going to go ahead and eat what they did. I don't know how the tip turned out or whatever, but I saw that them help to minimize how she was initially and that's the number one trick or the thought behind customer service. A lot of us don't get it, especially those that have brick and mortar businesses, those that have online businesses.
And I think it's really hard for online businesses too.
We're in the business of catering.
Yes, we are. But sometimes like online businesses, it's harder to get right back at them. I know you can email as long as you get back to them. Because I've seen people that are very, they just, if I mean, something simple, I don't know, something simple they could have just called the company about, or they could have emailed you about, or whatever. They just blast you.
Oh yeah,
they blast you all over. Then it's out there. Now people are looking at it and they're like, should I order?
Yes.
Do I need to order? And the only ones that will order are the ones that have already ordered from you.
Yeah.
And sometimes they get corrected by someone, and then you have to come on there. Can you please contact our customer service? And if you wouldn't mind, would you not put these type of comments on the thing?
Right here.
I've seen that. And so I'm like, okay, that's fair.
The queen of Twitter.
Oh, well,
remember
now I
our
will tweet the hell out of something if I don't. If you
had
got
an experience at a restaurant like 333. Remember that one?
Oh yeah,
she shot up. Oh my god!
Yeah, I get stuff done when I shoot Twitter.
Came back like quick. It was like, oh my god, what? How?
Yeah, Twitter helps customer service a lot, and you have to get me really upset and not really care what I'm saying for me to be mad. And you know how some people, that we won't name like to write them letters. Well, I'm the Twitterer, right there. And I get stuff done. I get, but that's the only time I really tweet is when I'm upset.
It
is,
but the
stuff gets done.
Of what we're trying to say here, because we can talk about this, to nauseam. The thing that we're trying to say here, because we want to see our Black businesses flourish, grow.
I'm so excited,
and it's just
so many of you guys.
2019, we're not even midway into this,
and we out there doing it, y'all.
The game is big, and it's so much for everybody. My thing of it is that you look at your business. You're the CEO over that business, whether you got 1 to 20 people or whatever, or even those of you that have brick and mortars that you walk in and you got employees there, or those of you that got a job.
Even those who got a job. That's
customer service is paramount, in what we do, because everybody has a thought about the Black community, the Black person,
and what we represent,
man, woman, child, old. I mean, I can give it to you. And they're trying to, I would say this. If you do have a business like my Roddy right here, who thinks she can just bite on my leg, I'm about to give her some customer service. Because when we flip over to Facebook, she going into the creek.
But we are so happy we got so many more Black businesses. There are so many more products out there that we can choose from. I try and buy from Black businesses before I buy from anyone else if I can't find it in my community. I am so excited. I don't always get the best service. I haven't had any problems with like on the phone or online, but sometimes my items I don't know where they are, but they do come eventually. So, you know, it's not like it's not an inconvenience for me, but for some it might be depending on what you're ordering. But I just want to say that I am so happy. We are very young and having so many new businesses come up. So we need to be patient with each other, show love with each other, and understand that as a whole, this is a new thing, because there are so many of us that are stepping into this for the first time, and not all of us have the support and the knowledge, so we're learning as we go.
We were discussing that this morning, just the power of business ownership. If we were talking about the different, I forget who we were speaking about. We were talking about our children.
Oh yeah,
and the support that they have behind
this
one
generation,
the millennial generation, with the communication and different things like that.
Could you imagine with our parents? Yeah, if they would have just supported our dreams.
I mean, it's not like, you know,
I mean, it is what it is. Yeah, it is what it is. But man, where we would be at this age.
Oh yeah, we are championing our children in aspects of whether the work, you know, the 9 to 5 that they got, going to school, you know, that they have, whether you're an Uber driver like our son is, if you're starting your own thing, you know, I mean, wherever it is that you're especially as parents, the support that's needed to help that young man or woman,
their mind just flourish,
that are setting out on their own, whether it's in business or work or whatever. It's the notion, it has always been taught to us, finish school, you get a job. Ours now with our kids, just like Dr. Claude Anderson say, it's not just finish school, get your good education, start your own business.
Start your own business.
That's what we're
do what you love, because our children are growing up and they have gifts. And if you are too busy to see the gifts or think they can't make money at their gifts, then that's your problem. And you are being a crutch to them. Because our kids are being born with gifts. And like us growing up, our gifts were just shut down. No, you ain't gonna do that. You ain't never gonna make no money at that. You ain't never gonna be nobody. That's all you heard. But now, you know, people are like, wow, my kid has this gift they can do. And now they're encouraging that along with education, but it gives that child that ability to say, I can do this. I can sell this. I can make this, you know, then their minds, because kids' minds are like, whoa, anyway. So then they even start thinking big. So I love like Gabby Bowes with the barrettes. And I love that was the young man with the bow ties.
That kid has some of the best bow ties.
We have so many young people out there, the lemonade makers and and they got their either their own
young
shop.
Lady that her own director. I mean,
they are dreaming big and they have people pushing them. And they have the young parents that are pushing them. So keep doing what you're doing. We love you, Black community. We are here supporting you. Just remember, be patient with each other, love each other. And if something's going on, you ain't got to tell them with an attitude. Just be like, hey, sis, maybe you should hey, maybe if you did it this way, it'd be a little better. And don't be so heartbroken with criticism. Criticism is not always bad. Sometimes we need to hear stuff because we can't see it because we're so busy being hands-on. So, you know, we just give you love, peace. We love that we're coming up. Continue to educate, continue to strive, continue to fight.
To Facebook Live, because we got so much. Every topic we have says that it's only 30 minutes, but it's so much more.
So good.
I hope you guys are getting something out of this. We love you. Hope for the rest of your evening. This Sunday
to enjoy First Fruit. We love you.
We'll see you next
Sunday.
All right. Bye. Peace.